I'm gonna guess 298.
The video is actually, I believe it's 297, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you are.
No, I checked.
But I don't know.
It's 297. I checked.
You're like, no, I checked. You son of a bitch.
It's 297. But boom, we are live. And in that moment, as we go live, Darren freezes away. But he's back now. It's all good. So we are here.
Good. We back, baby. We back, mama. Episode 297.
Yes.
Love and Chokes podcast. It's your boy, Keebler, a.k.a. Darren Branch. That's the name my parents gave me. I'm sitting here virtually across Anthony.
Yes.
He resides in the CLE. That is where I am from. That is where I get that fucking, that embalmment fluid in me. That's what I'll always say. But I live in Vegas now. The flag is on the wall. That's what I'm looking at when I'm ranting. I draw inspiration from that flag, but I don't the wall. Oh, you gotta look at that fuck.
Ooh.
You can see the elements of my homeland on my shoulder. Some people wear their heart on their sleeve. I wear my location and my purpose. That's what I do. I don't know what y'all do. That's what I do. Anthony, you tell me what it do.
Not much. The world is going crazy. The people are taking over. But yeah, first thing we should probably talk about.
The people have taken the power?
People are trying to. But before we get into that, we should probably talk about a very simple question, an age-old question asked by everybody on the internet.
Okay.
How much does a pound of weed cost? And Darren will explain the reasoning why we were asking, why that we're answering that age-old question of how much does a pound cost.
The reason we need to know what a pound costs is the same reason, Anthony, that the fucking guns are out. I'll tell you what that reason is. That reason is the High Rollers event that is happening this weekend. I'm competing. I jerked out before this podcast started. I want to be prepared for this event. I want to be psychologically and emotionally prepared to battle in an open weight division with black belt murderers ready to go. I got to be ready because we're scrapping for a pound, Anthony. This is a unique jiu-jitsu event, a cannabis-infused event. So you get on the mat, you hit on scrap, which is not that different than my real life. But it is the only sanctioned weed event that I am aware of. High Rollers. This is High Rollers 4. And I'm happy to represent Team Originals. I'll be stepping out on the mat along with my teammates, Casey Smith, Jessica I. We got two other cats helicoptering in to join us for this tremendous event. Oh, if we were dollars, how many dollars would we be scrapping for? And I also think that law enforcement is who like dictates what goes on the internet about like what a pound costs these days.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the street value? Because that's what I want to know.
Right. You want to know the street value.
Make sure that we have Googled the proper. I want to know the street. You know who I do have to because Anthony.
Hold on, Darren.
Streets.
You are. This is unprecedented. Shitty internet connection I've ever dealt with in my life. Because I don't know, for some reason we are just cutting.
That's sad because my rants have been strong as fuck today.
They have been. Of a pound of weed. Let's see. What is the street value of a pound of weed? This is
value.
Street value of a pound of weed. So this was. Let's see. So this is from answered from 2019.
It's pretty close to right now.
So let's see. I haven't kept track of street prices since I retired, but back when I was in Las Cruces in the 1989 to 1992, that's not helpful. It was sold for $350.
Oh, you said get the fuck out of here.
And Juarez was.
How does that not just pop the fuck up in Google right away?
This guy. It's like this guy's talking about. Let's see, 200. So let's see.
That should be like the street value of a pound. A pound of the sweetest Chiba you can find.
Yeah.
If I win this, I won't be selling this weed. I'll be hoarding this weed.
So let's see. Well, not very.
Like Gollum.
Some of the extremely high-grade stuff, like the super octane product coming out of Canada, for instance, can fetch upward to $5,000 to $7,000 a pound.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. So it varies anywhere from $1,000 to $7,000.
Very interesting.
Yeah, $7,000.
$1,000.
Yeah, like that. Like that's like the for Colorado, it says like it was $999 for a pound in 2016.
Holy shit! They must have been needing to get rid of weed.
Yeah.
If I could buy an elbow, I mean, why am I using those
Elbow.
terms? If I could buy 1 pound of marijuana in a legal manner, look, I was never a drug dealer, in my opinion.
Ah.
No, for real. I was never a drug dealer, but like there have been moments where I was a drug go-between. I honestly think that anybody who is like a drug culture for, if you haven't been either a mule or a fucking go-between, like there's always been a moment where you were in the game for a split second.
Yeah.
You may not have defined yourself as a person that was in the game, but you've been in the game. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I don't feel like I'm speaking out of turn here. It's like even if it's as little as like you're in high school and you're about to go to the fucking weed man's house, or the weed man's coming to you, and then your homeboy hits you up in the jack like, "Hey, I'll get you back at school tomorrow. Can you get me an eighth?"
Yeah.
At that point, when you take that extra $50 out of your account and you go to the weed kid's house and you get a quarter instead of an eighth, at that moment, you're a fucking drug dealer. Like, at that moment, you're about to buy some weed and then sell some weed. You're a drug dealer. Now, that's not who you are, as like in terms of who you would define yourself as. But if we're going to be technical about shit,
the law would define you that.
That's what you're doing. You're dealing drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The law would define anybody who gives anybody weed a drug dealer.
Right. So like I was never a drug dealer as a way of earning.
Right.
But like let's not act like having gone from my hand to another hand. Let's not act like it was nothing to look at like an onion or a QP. It was nothing to look at that at a certain point in life. It was like, oh yeah. Like, I'll just hold on to this. Oh, somebody's coming over to the house to what? Okay, cool. Like that shit was normal.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was normal. And then one motherfucker's come into your house and put the pistol in your face, and you're like, hey, I don't feel safe in the house anymore, Chad. And I don't think I'm cut out for this shit. You know, that's not how I get down. I wouldn't want to earn illegally.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But like earning from the life doesn't make me think ill or like well of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I talk to a person and they're like, oh yeah, like I fucking move this or that. I'm like, all right, cool, that's what you do to earn money. Depending on what it is, it doesn't define you as far as I'm concerned. Like legality isn't the issue. There's a morality issue though, for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you do something I don't approve of, if you tell me that you're like selling heroin, and that's the end of our conversation, I'm not going to call the cops because I know that there's people that want heroin.
Right.
I just know that I don't want anyone that moves heroin to another human being in my circle.
Yeah.
So I think that's negative energy, and like I don't want to fuck with that. That's something that I wouldn't touch, so I wouldn't want anyone selling it near me. There are things that I don't even fuck with right now. Like I'm still not really fucking with alcohol.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the plan isn't like now I drink again. It's like no. Like there's certain circumstances that I'm willing to consider having a drink in,
mm-hmm.
but I don't drink.
Right.
So it's like, but would I like consider moving alcohol? Yeah, I would. Because I think it's possible to enjoy a drink and have a good life. I do not think it is a good idea to just do a little bit of smack and then have a good day.
Yeah.
Idea. I wouldn't feel good about moving that. And then, so for that reason, I wouldn't want you in my circle moving that shit.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh yeah, we move these elbows under the table, blah, blah, blah. Look, we can still be homies, man. I'm not mad at you. You're just trying to figure out how to earn. You're trying to rub together and make something happen. And like, I'm not mad at that ever. But yeah, don't ever think you're above the drug dealer, because you a drug dealer too.
There you go. You heard it here first. So, before we begin, when is High Rollers for you?
This very weekend.
This very weekend.
It's the 6th and 7th.
All right. Let's see when it'll be.
This upcoming weekend. I'm not sure when it's airing on television. If you have a Vizio TV, then you're probably already aware of a thing called Pluto TV. If you own one of those cheap-ass awesome TVs, then you're probably already aware of a service called Pluto, and we're going to be on that platform. I don't believe it's airing live, but it might be. So check your.
I'm pretty sure.
Your listings there.
No, probably not. Because I remember when I saw it last time, is that there was gonna be like a week later after the event. So I imagine it's gonna.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Right?
Yeah.
Take their time with the production, make it look nice, you know.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I make it on there for everybody. But if you don't have that, you can download Pluto as an app.
Mm-hmm.
And you can watch it with any fucking device you want. You can watch it on your phone, on your iPad, on your TV. So get that app. Watch this event. If you want to order it on pay-per-view, it's also available to watch live. But you can't really be in the room to see it. So even if you're in Vegas, unless you're somebody's +1 and you're about to pay $40 to get a COVID test and you have to be at the right place at the right time, like you have to jump through a lot of hoops to be allowed into the room.
Yeah.
Which I just heard about. So to even go that route, but I do suggest you watch it if you can live, and if you can't, on the Pluto TV app.
Yeah.
It'll
be
a fun event, man.
It'll be exciting. The event airs February 12th on channel 726 on Pluto TV.
Holla.
Is it a 2-day event?
Does that channel have a name?
TV Fight Channel 7. TV Fight Channel, or Fight Channel, just
cool.
Fight Channel.
And it does. 2-day event, yeah. So we will we'll grapple to the semifinals, I believe, and then the next day it's semifinals and finals.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, it should be fun. Are you looking at the event? Does it show you what the matches are?
Let me go back real quick.
Not the tournament matches, but the super fights.
Let me look at the event again. I was just looking at when is the where it airs. Let me see. TV schedule. Register. I'll register. See what they tell me to do. Which is so crazy that I can still register. Let's see. Event website. Can I get like bracket schedule? No brackets up in public.
I have so many things going on here.
The deadline already passed for registration.
I've got fancy water bottles, joints.
Let's see.
Somebody's mom underneath the desk. There's so many things happening.
Let's see. All I see.
Easy there, Brenda. Slow it down.
High Rollers. They don't tell me anything, but I'm still looking.
His mother's name is really Brenda.
His name is really Brenda. 2021. Let's see.
What do you think?
I'm sure.
What are the odds?
There's plenty of people's mothers named Brenda. Let's see. I want to see what the event is. Maybe I'm just going to take me too long to figure it out. But yeah, it looks like all I see so far in like terms of like brown and black belt championship matches, like Kevin Crane and Kevin Burbage as like a bracket, but that's all I see on the site as far as I can tell.
Okay, I know for a fact. I know one of the matches. I know one of the super fights.
Yeah.
And so I'll announce it myself.
Do it.
We don't need your fucking website.
Do it.
We don't need no stinky website. Because I just saw this man when I was having coffee recently. I sat down at a coffee shop with a good friend to like as we've been using the counter voice to discuss big business. And while we were discussing business, in walked Jake Shields. And Jake Shields facing off with Diego Sanchez.
Yep.
In a super fight at this event. So I'm excited to watch that. I'm excited to compete myself. You know, I'm excited to get it on.
Nice.
Go out there and charge for Team Originals. So that's what's happening in my actual life. What's happening in the world, Anthony?
The world, well,
tell me what it do.
The world is gone crazy. So, I know you stay away from the finance world and all things related to news, but
all the worlds,
yes. There's this place called Reddit, right? And there's this place in Reddit called Wall Street Bets, and these guys who were very nice people. By the way, I must say I am not a financial advisor. I have to repeat that a couple times today.
You must preface.
We are not financial advisors, but there's a thing going on right now where these people on Wall Street Bets are trying to take down hedge funds. I shouldn't say that. Once again, they're buying a stock called GameStop. GameStop is a brick and mortar store that a lot of millennials remember as a place to be, and even you might remember as a place to be to go get games before everything became super digital now.
Wait, first of all, you just said like even you might remember? Yeah, motherfucker. I remember GameStop. I've been at GameStop during the pandemic. Suck on that.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Same.
How dare you? Of course I know what GameStop is.
Yes. And
my fucking Xbox 360. That's how old I am. But I still play old technology. I got it from GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a part of this movement,
yes.
quote unquote movement. But I am a contributor to GameStop.
You are a contributor.
Please continue, sir.
That is good. So what's been going on is that there's these groups of people that basically bought GameStop. So what happened was this individual named I can't remember his name, but they call him Deep Fucking Value on Reddit. And what happened was that maybe I think 6 months ago to a year ago, he was saying he saw how these hedge funds are basically shorting a stock, what that means is that they bet on this stock to lose value at a certain point. And so we can go do a quick finance lesson real quick, where what the shorting is that you as an individual, you say, hey, I bet that this stock's going to fail. So you take that stock from somebody who lent it out to you and says, hey, I bet the stock's going to fail, so I'll sell it now. And then when my short option is up, I have to buy the stock back, and then whatever I make off the profits is what I make, right?
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay. So
I've been hearing this story told by different people
mm-hmm.
over the course of the last few days.
Right.
Right. And so it's forced me to try to start to wrap my head around it because I don't want to be the dumbest guy in the room. I don't need to be the smartest.
I got you. So I'll give you a real.
But I don't want to be the dumbest guy in the room. So I've been trying to piece together how this works.
Okay.
So I'm not ready to try to explain it back to you to demonstrate whether or not I understand it. I'd like to hear you try to explain it again.
Okay. So imagine that I have this soda, right? This soda is valued at $10. You say, cool, I know that this value of this soda is going to go down in the future. But I want to. So
it is,
right? And so what you do is you say, "Hey, can I have this soda from you, right?" And then you pay me interest, saying, "Hey, you can hold on to this soda, and you can do whatever you want as you wish, but I want this soda back when it's time to get it back from you." So you pay me some money up front, saying, "Hey, here's some interest to say, all right, you can hold on to the soda." I give you the soda, you go, and then you sell the soda immediately to somebody else. Or whenever you can make the most value out of it, right? So you sell that soda at $10, right? And then I say I want the soda back in a week, right? So in that course of the week, the value of soda drops, and it drops to about $2. And then you're like, all right, here's the soda back. I bought the soda for $2 now. I made an $8 profit. The person who borrowed the soda is happy because they have the soda back. But the value of that soda has diminished in that period of time since you gave it back to me.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. This is a fucking scam.
It is a scam. Because you want to know how crazy it is?
It's all made up bullshit. Holy shit. Okay. All right, let's go.
Because you want to know how crazy it is? Is because I can then when I give this to somebody else, that person can also then do the same thing that you just did with it, and then also pass it around.
Wow.
So
How many times can this change hands?
a lot of times.
For no reason other than betting. A lot of times.
A lot of times. So much so that let's go back to GameStop, that it went up to 160% of short stocks. So that means the value of stocks available has been shorted more than you could actually buy. Right? That you could actually own in that moment.
Okay, so they broke it.
They broke it. I mean, this happens all the time. This happens all the time. This is nothing new, and this is nothing random. This is what hedge funds do all the time.
Okay.
And so what these people decided was that they saw this happening, and they were like, okay, well, and this is the reasoning, because this is the reason you have to say, is that they like GameStop. Because you can't say that they were doing this, they were colluding in any way, because that is what they say illegal, even though hedge funds are allowed to have idea dinners where they talk about the things that they want, or they go on the news and say, hey, I think this stock's going to fall. So without the SEC investigating anybody, we have to just say that we like this stock. And so
of course nerds like GameStop.
Yeah.
It was a perfect choice.
It was. So what happened is that this guy called Deep Fucking Value, I can't remember his real name. He goes out. He's been saying this for like months. That like, all right, I'm gonna buy as much as I can of the stock and hold on to it until those shorts expire, and then see what happens. So he not only did he buy stocks, but he also bought calls and puts, he bought call options, which is a different story. It's like the option to buy a stock. It's a whole different thing we don't have to talk about. And so what happened is that
so heavy.
So what happened was that as this started picking up, more and more people were like, "Oh my God, the stock price is jumping up with this," and it just kept going up and up because more people kept buying the stock, and these people kept doubling down on their shorts. They're like, "All right, well, we're just gonna double down if you guys keep buying," because they just think that we can't lose. And so what happened was that one hedge fund, let's see, how much money did they lose? They lost, let's see, billions of dollars doing this, betting against the internet, thinking that they were gonna, win this money. So they lost, I think, about let me see if I can find the number exactly. How much did people lose on GameStop? And let's see, they lost short sellers lost $19 billion. That's $19 billion because of the internet group. And as that goes up now, the price of GameStop has gone up to about $3.16 a share, which was valued at the beginning of the month at $6 a share, or yes, about $6 a share, I believe. And what is crazy about this is that so that happened, right? But then on top of that, when that started happening, the news started breaking, these people started losing money, they started going on the news complaining, saying that like these losers are basically sitting at home on their butts getting money from the government to invest in the stock and are making us go bankrupt. And all we're just trying to do is make money. You're talking about people who basically ruined millions of people's lives back in 2008 with when their bubble bursted in the .com era. And they're complaining that they cannot, they're losing money off of this. So what has happened, they've gone in and said, hey, this is market manipulation. They have gone to, basically what it is the brokerages, like brokerage apps like Robinhood, TD, Ameritrade, all these places. I think TD was a good one in that moment. What they did is that the company that basically finances them, Citadel, let me look up Citadel, remember to make sure I know the words right. It's basically, I think Citadel is what? I don't know. But Citadel basically says that this is the idea. This is the thing, because all the apps, all those like fintech apps that do the trading easily stopped allowing you to buy those stocks and other stocks like that were shorted because of this high validity, which is like all this trading and buying of the stocks and this frenzy of the stocks, to the point where they shut it down. A lot of stock, they shut it down, and they said, hey, we're trying to protect you guys because you guys are going to lose money off of this, so if you stop. And in that moment, what is supposed to be the idea of a free market, the idea of that you can buy and sell as you will and have the same supposed to be equal as, the trillionaires, is that that's no longer the case because they stopped, a bunch of brokerage apps stopped you from trading and buying GameStop. So because of that, the price went down. I think it was Thursday. It dropped down from $336 to $126. Nobody could buy it. They could only sell. And so that caused a lot of short panic. But what has gone on in this Reddit thread has been phenomenal. They have said, hey, I'm retarded. I'm an autist. I can't read. All I know is I like GameStop. So I'm going to hold. I'm not going to fold on this pressure. I'm going to develop what they call diamond hands. Hands that are built under the pressure of fire and the pressure of stock striping. So we're going to look at some lovely posts because of this, of what these people are doing with the money and what they're doing with like the options they've made after they sold some of their option calls for the stock. Because what's going to happen on Monday is that these people are going to go back in, spend more money on the stock, hold it, and eventually it's going to bring that price even higher than what it is. So they're going to try to make the stock go above $300 to be worth maybe $1,000 a share, $2,000 a share. They're trying to go for $10K a share.
My God.
They are trying to do it, and they don't care. Like they're like people are taking out like second mortgages against their house. People are doing. They're doing like this liquidity, like this. I think it's like liquid. This is stuff I'm still learning about too. But their ability where they basically can say, "Hey, I put down $1,000, which gives me access to about $5,000 in assets that I don't really have on hand. It's something that I'm borrowing against like the brokerages and other banks and companies to buy GameStop stock." And they're just saying, "Hold, hold, hold." So we're gonna look at a lot of this stuff going on over here on this screen, and let me make sure the viewers can see it as well. So let's close this out.
This is exciting stuff, man.
It is really exciting.
See, like when people say like, "Defund the police, let's get in the streets, burn shit down," it's like, wait a second, like.
But this is so. What's going on now is that people are just buying billboards.
This is beautiful,
and they're just putting them everywhere along Minnesota. Somebody on the stock exchange tweeted HGHG, which means hold GameStop, don't sell, hold. You have more people coming to 7 major highways in Orlando, more billboards. You have, what is this? They have more people tweeting about this, like hold. There's one person that is, what did they do? Oh, the memes are hilarious from this. This is the best thing ever. And this is the best thing about this channel is all these memes where these people come in and they're just like, all right, this is who we are. We're coming in, GameStop. We're going to make it land. And then the memes are
diamond hands.
So that's the thing.
Oh my God.
And the funny thing about this forum is that they have a very unique lingo where they call themselves autists. They're autistic. They call themselves all autists. They call themselves retards. They say that a lot of them are cuckolds and what's cuck queening? What's the woman version of that?
Oh my God.
So like what they say is like, hey, like, you know, I'll make enough money that I'll be able to tell my wife to tell her boyfriend that he has to sleep on the couch this night. Like this is the thing. And like they're all like they call themselves gorillas. You know, like we got the bananas. Like the corporations are snakes. They're trying to slither in, take the bananas. This is a picture of the actual guy who funded this thing, Deep Fucking Value.
Actual picture. Actual picture of this guy.
Let me see if I can find the top post of him. Let's see if I can find.
All right, I love it. It gets. I don't know where this is gonna go.
Oh yeah, I can tell you. Times Square. We're going to show you that one. Times Square bought billboards in Times Square. Yeah, like that's a real billboard.
Get after it, boys.
Yeah, they're going after it. And then and the best thing about this is the guy who has, who did this. Let's see if I can make this picture large. He made about He has $33 million on paper.
Wow.
And he's not selling. He refuses to sell. Could you imagine having I think he lost he was at 50 or 60 million and he lost 23 million when that dip happened and he still didn't sell. He's like, I'm holding strong, guys.
It's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And this guy lives in a rented house, has 2 kids, and
But he's still winning by so much.
And so the thing is that people have been they've been suing. They're setting up a class action lawsuit.
So let's go back to that. Let's go back to that image because for the people that are just listening on audio, the numbers that I said when I say he's winning by so much, the number I'm referring to. So he has put in about $750,000.
So He's put. I think he's not. I don't think he's put in.
Is that correct?
No. So I think
It
this
says price paid down here total.
I'll
Is that
pay.
not it?
Yeah. That's right. You're right.
So he's put in this much, and his total value right now listed $46 million.
Yeah. Yes.
So he's up by a fucking huge margin.
Yes.
So if it drops a bit and he's like, not selling, like it's still holding up. It's still holding up. I'm still winning. As long as he makes $1 million,
yeah,
he's winning. He's beaten everyone.
Right. And mind you, these are just
it's fucking crazy.
These aren't the stocks. These are like calls. So basically, what he's saying is that I at this price, I want to buy this much stock, and I bet that it's going to go up this much. And he set this out to a date so far in the future that it's it's like April 16th of 2021. And this is when it expires. And so he's like betting that it's going to go.
And these
up.
usually last how long?
So these usually these calls.
Yeah.
So this lasts as long as the date is. So either you either sell before this date, you either buy before this date, or the value of it goes to zero.
But you said he set a date that was so far out.
April 16th.
So far out.
April's
so what's
that's
normal?
That's like people will do like month, like 2 months, like 3 months. That's like normal, but like nobody shoots for like that far out. Like that's a large bet to make.
So this is like Steph Curry right now.
Yeah, this is Steph
He's
Curry.
like standing in the middle of the fucking court, and he's still dangerous. He still might pull up.
He's still shooting. He's still shooting. And only that, he still has...
Impressive.
He still has...
Impressive.
Yeah. It's going crazy. So the things that have been good about this is that people, they've taken some of their earnings, and what they've done is done really nice things for like people in the world. So like one person used some of his...
So some people are pulling their money out.
They're pulling their options out, which is not like this, not technically like their stocks. It's weird. I still don't understand it yet. I still have to find more about it. But they're pulling. So there are people selling and doing nice things with it. Like they're doing. Somebody bought I think like 10 Nintendo Switches and a bunch of games and gave it to a children's hospital. Some people have done like they've basically like bought like somebody bought 2 hearts or basically paid for 2 heart surgeries for 2 kids across the world. Like,
well,
they have done like like this guy he bought more Nintendo Switches for that. People have said like, hey, I'll give you this money to like certain charities as long as you do this with it. Like, hey, you go to GameStop, buy games for kids, and increase the value of GameStop that way. And then what's crazier is that billionaires are getting involved, saying like, we agree with these guys, keep going. It's the biggest like Shamaka is like the biggest thing ever.
They're like, fuck it,
let's
break
go.
it.
Yeah, break it. Google is stepping in as well, saying, "Hey, you guys can't bomb the App Store with 100,000 1-star reviews." So they removed it because people were like, "Hey, we can't trade, and this is a legit complaint." So they wiped that slate clean. So instead of it being a 1-star app, it's now still a 4.1 star app. And
interesting.
Yeah, and like basically, it's like just these people just keep going and just trying to make these posts happen, and then. It's just a wild ride. So, once again, I am not a financial advisor, but if you want to get a part of the movement, right now,
but if you want to,
yes, you can buy.
If you want to these drugs,
yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do this. It looks like most likely the price will probably go up on Monday, just because all the hedge funds are doubling down and saying, "Hey, we're gonna bet more shorts on this, and we're gonna also if they lose, they just send it off to another hedge fund. They just sell their shorts to another hedge fund, and they pick it up, and they think they can win. And the internet has a nearly undefeated record. The internet has definitely lost some battles, and it should be noted that the internet is not perfect. So, and most likely, if you invest a lot of money, you will probably lose your money. Let's also be clear here. It's like. If you're trying to make this into make it big scheme, like
don't die on this hill.
Yeah, don't die on this hill. Like if you do as much as you can do. If it's just one share, if you just want to play one share, just do it. Me personally, I have decided to transfer $3,000 into my Fidelity account on Monday to just buy in on GameStop. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, and once again, I think this is going to be an interesting thing.
I'm just a young man
who
doesn't give a fuck.
Exactly. And if you want to get in, go for it. I think it's great, but just remember that you have to be able to put money in that you won't mind losing, and it's okay. And yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what happens.
This is not This is not the place for your food money or your rent money.
Right.
Right? Like, don't be like, you know what? I'm a little short on rent. I'm going to throw this money in GameStop. Pull it right out.
Exactly. Don't do that. But I say that you guys, if you guys want to,
do that.
Get involved and join the Reddit. Do not. Oh, also, the other thing that's interesting, do not look at the new posts. Look at top posts, because the other thing is happening is that there is a bunch of what it is SEC people, not SEC people, hedge fund people have been making bot accounts to come in and make posts to buy to buy other stocks that are like that they own a lot of, to make that value go up, because they think that it's super easy to like trick the internet people. So they set bots in. Like there was a point,
internet people are like,
yeah. So do not follow the well wishes of those bots. Look at the high rated top posts. They will tell you the obvious things. It's very simple. If you want diamond hands, buy GME and hold. Do not expect to make a profit. You're just trying to send a message.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay loose attention to this.
Yeah, you should. Pay loose attention. Don't focus your time on it, because it will make you autistic.
No.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of attention. Just
Yeah.
like, oh shit. Okay, boys.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. It's interesting anytime someone looks at a system differently.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what's happened in jiu-jitsu with like the Danaher, Gordon Ryan type revolution that's happening currently.
Right.
It's like, what if there was a system, and why would you ignore 50% of the body?
Exactly. It's like, why would you short?
Like once you look at a system differently,
yeah,
all of a sudden you can value things differently, and then you start changing shit.
Yeah,
it's the same fucking formula.
It's amazing, and hats off to the guys that got in super early at like $6 a share and are making a killing. I hope you guys pull out when they should.
Pause.
Pull out when they should. Sell their shares when they should. When they feel comfortable, everybody should be able to sell whenever they want to. I don't think everybody should be forced to hold. But if you try to make a profit, don't do it. This is also one last thing. Wall Street Bets is not the best place to get your financial advice. It's a lot of YOLOing, and so people just do crazy things like put like second mortgages in on stocks, or do very questionable and illegal things like figure out loopholes and to get extra money out of the system. So
don't do illegal stuff.
Right. But if you want to help out, do it. Do it.
I mean, it's all very sexy. Let's keep it real. Like, the whole situation there is extraordinarily sexy. So we'll keep our eyes on that loosely. So that's what it do in the world.
Yes.
High rollerz is going on locally. By locally, I mean inside this tiny body.
Yes.
Right. What else is crack lacking, Anthony? What else is crack lacking?
Honestly, that's about it. I mean, there's like, let's see, is there anything exciting going on? I guess did we talk about Jake Paul and what's his face fighting?
And Ben?
Ben, yeah.
So Jake Paul and Ben Askren are going to have a boxing match.
Yep.
Ben Askren is known as a wrestler. He was a wrestler at the University of Minnesota, and innovative wrestler. Like, funk is a style of wrestling, and his nickname was the funky one.
Yes.
Right? So, like, this motherfucker was a true innovator in his game. And he brought that game over to MMA for a long time. He was a puzzle that nobody solved. He was undefeated for quite some time in Bellator and in one fighting championship. He came over to the UFC and didn't have as good of luck. Got stopped brutally by Jorge Masvidal, which is probably his most viewed event as an athlete, which is crazy if you really think about that.
It is.
Like, him getting starched in 5 seconds most likely has more views, especially if you collect all the sources of all the people who put that image out for different purposes. It probably has more views than every other athletic accomplishment. Like, know that happened to him than that he won the fucking Hodge Trophy, or even know what the fucking Hodge Trophy is.
I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm just shooting here.
I have no idea.
The Hodge Trophy is the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy for football. The Hodge is that for wrestling. It's
Gotcha.
named after Danny Hodge, who passed away in 2020. Rest in power, Danny Hodge, the crusher of apples.
Crusher of apples.
Amateur and professional wrestling legend. Yeah, he could take an apple in his hand and just fucking crush it.
Jesus.
Even when he was an old guy.
Jeez.
Yeah. Fucking beast. Danny Hodge is the man. All right, so Ben Askren has agreed to stand across from Jake Paul in a boxing match.
Yes.
I believe they plan on boxing for 8 rounds.
Let's find the information out.
And people are like, well, Ben Askren's striking is, to most people's estimation, non-existent. I think that's what most people are thinking right now.
Yeah.
Like, this dude isn't a puncher, and he's not allowed to take the guy down. But he was in a sport where people could punch him. So I think it's naive to think that he hasn't spent time just spending time boxing.
Right.
Like, I think it's naive to think that he hasn't spent time in a situation where he wasn't allowed to use his dominant skill set just so he could learn better methods of survival. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think Ben has had the 16s on and has felt the ropes against his back more times than people are giving him credit for. However,
Yeah.
he's not a mover when he's on his feet. Like,
Right.
he doesn't look like a boxer when he moves.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul has just been exclusively boxing and is a pretty good athlete. And I think it's selling him short to almost use a phrase that we've been using. I think it's selling Jake Paul very short to behave like, or to be in the mentality that he's not a fucking athlete.
That Jake Paul isn't?
I think it's naive. Yeah. I think it's naive to be like, he's just some YouTuber. He's just some YouTuber that gave him the fucking capital to be able to hire high-level professionals to teach him to do a difficult skill. He didn't just walk into the fucking title boxing gym and take a cardio boxing class and then start calling people out.
Right.
Like, that's not what happened.
This guy.
So for the last couple of years, he's been working with high-level professionals to teach him a craft.
Also, let's also say this is like that dude could be on all the Juicy Juice stuff and nobody's going to test him. Who's testing him? That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, think about that. Like, not only are you rich as hell, but
Juice.
yeah, like you could take oh, I want orange, EPO, oh, I want test, that's yellow. It's like, well, you could get whatever you want, and who's testing you? And you like, oh man, I better just cut it off right before the fight, before they do some drug test. Hey man, piss in this cup real quick, wink wink, whatever happens. Like, you don't know. And I'm like, this dude could do whatever he wants. It's his event.
Okay. I'm also not so naive to believe that a lot of these athletes aren't using performance enhancing drugs.
Right.
So I don't know what Ben's plans are. His body doesn't scream PEDs.
Right.
It doesn't, like, his body, his physique doesn't shout PEDs like mine does, Anthony.
Does it? Does it scream PEDs?
It does not.
36-year-old man.
It does not. Yeah. 39.
39. I'm trying to make you feel young.
And honestly, I am a little fat today, and I'll show you part of the reason why.
Oh,
This
ew.
box
Gross.
once had 10 Twinkies in it. I would say about 12 hours ago, it had 10 Twinkies in it, and right now, a single Twinkie falls out of that box. One lonely Twinkie remains because I sat in my bed and ate 9 Twinkies.
Hey, Darren, I got a question for you.
Like it was nothing.
I got a question for you. Are we in the apocalypse?
Yes.
No, we're not. It's like, are we in the apocalypse? No, we're not. It's like, what are you eating those radioactive roaches? What are you looking at the dessert roach for?
The last 2 ASMR fans.
What are you eating that cockroach food for? What is that cockroach food for that you're eating? That cockroach food is disgusting.
Look, I'm not gonna call this food. I'm consuming a product. Food comes out of the ground or had a mom. But Twinkies are delicious. And at my fattest, I still have obliques. So I don't give a Frenchman's fuck.
That cockroach, the cockroaches of the food of cockroaches.
What anybody has to say about my Twinkie addiction.
I don't care about your
Look, motherfucker, one addiction at a time.
One addiction at a time. One thing at a time.
I don't have to fucking solve my Twinkie addiction today.
Yeah.
Jesus. Let a motherfucker eat some goddamn Hostess. ASMR. Let a motherfucker have a Twinkie. It's not that you're actually preventing me from eating Twinkies.
No, I'm not. I'm really not.
And I don't mind you talking shit about what it is. Like, it is what it is. It's garbage. But it's so good when it hits your lips.
I get what you're saying.
It's so delicious. So, yeah. Everybody's got their problems, Anthony.
I got you.
Is 10 Twinkies a lot? I mean, like... I used to be like, yo, 6 drinks isn't a lot of drinks, bro.
6 drinks isn't a lot of drinks.
Every night.
Every day.
Look, 12 drinks? That's not that many drinks.
Yeah.
Every other night.
Every other night. All right, Bert.
10 Twinkies is a lot of Twinkies.
All right, Bert. All right, Bert.
10 Twinkies is a lot of Twinkies. But better are those Twinkies than, like, beers or whiskey shots. Better those Twinkies. But, like, soon I won't need these Twinkies the way that I needed them. I needed them last night. I needed the comfort of soft, sweet Twinkies in my mouth. I needed it. And it was spectacular. I was so happy when I realized I had Twinkies. You don't even know how happy I was.
I know you got excited.
When I came home and, like, got in my bed and I got under the covers and I'm watching wrestling and in my ears I'm listening to something I'm not even going to talk about right now. But it wasn't naughty. But it was weird. But it wasn't naughty. And I'm listening to something weird and I'm like, now it's time to relax. And then I'm like, starving. I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. You have Twinkies. And like, that giggle that you just heard, that was a shoot giggle.
Yeah.
That's how I felt inside when I realized I had Twinkies.
Despicable. Anyway,
You don't know joy, Anthony.
I don't. You're
That's
right.
the fucking problem.
I don't. I don't enjoy it. Like I sent you that video the other day of me in the bathtub in ice, smiling. Hey man, I know all the joy now.
Look, I appreciate you. And I respect what you did there.
Yeah.
But like, don't hold your breath waiting for me to get into the cold water.
Oh, I know you won't.
Or
My plan was to mock you well. I was super upset that because that could have been it would have been great because I was gonna write this post out, but then so there was 2 videos taken. There was like one that like it showed too much of what was going on down there, and so like, oh man, I wish I saved that video.
It happens.
It's like I would have been able to make that as my Darren post. Like, look at me, I'm Darren. I see this one is a little too much. And it had like the blur shot, and then like, but this is the PG version.
I hate you so much.
That's what the plan was. So be happy.
So look, I have a tendency to show too much. I'm an oversharer.
Yeah.
And I take full fucking responsibility for that. Like, while we were in Abu Dhabi, I was in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
And my phone was nearby. I was listening to stuff on my phone. And then I'm like, wait. That phone isn't just something that gives me things. It can capture things as well. So I captured some of my time in the tub. And I used a tasteful washcloth tastefully placed to cover my bits. And I posted that shit on the internet.
You weren't showing bits. You were showing
because
bites.
it's fun to do.
You were showing bites, dude. You weren't showing bits.
Whoa!
I'm just saying. It's like bits. People call bits 8 bits equal a bite. That's what you're trying to show off.
Sir, I was just trying to demonstrate proper laying technique. Like, you don't just lay in the tub every, like, you gotta have a certain. So I was just trying to show these motherfuckers.
Show them
how to truly relax.
I get it. King stuff. I got you. Let's see.
No.
Anyway, let's transition over to the UFC.
You don't like attention horror stuff.
I got you. Let's transition over to the UFC.
So what about the UFC?
They has a fight card this Saturday. Bum, bum, bum. I guess we can talk about. Actually, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, like sometime this week.
Oh, who's the?
We'll talk about it next week because we're almost out of time, so it's okay. Save it.
You son of a bitch.
You can save it for later. We can do some weird news.
You know what? Yeah, fuck the UFC because today, Anthony.
Yeah.
It's not UFC day.
There you go.
No. Today, if you're listening to this podcast on the day that it airs, right, on the fucking Sunday, if you're watching it live or if you're watching it on Sunday the 31st of January, just know.
Yeah.
Just know that you can watch the Royal Rumble today. And that the Royal Rumble is a pro wrestling event thrown by the WWE. And if you are not a wrestler, and if you do not fuck with wrestling, this is the event that is the easiest to watch and understand. Now, not the entire event, but the Royal Rumble match itself. And here's why, Anthony.
Why?
It's the simplest thing to understand. During the course of this match, 30 different people will run down the aisle, hop into the ring, and try to compete to win under a particular rule set. And that rule set is as follows. Once you enter the ring, you are now a live participant in said Royal Rumble. You are a live participant in this match until you have been thrown over the top rope and to the floor with both of your feet, landing on the floor. Once that has happened, you are out. And the match will continue until there is only one person remaining inside the ring whose feet, both of them, which is fucking important, haven't touched the ground.
I feel like
that is the Royal Rumble.
I feel like you're gonna tell me something crazy, like somebody does like a handstand when they're getting tossed out. Oh no! Handstand.
That has happened.
I figured.
That has happened.
I figured.
And the guy was black. Surprise, surprise. Now, because entrances in wrestling are the best things about watching wrestling, this is the match where you get the most of those. Because the rules really affect the believability of wrestling for most people. This kind of like covers your ass from, like, you don't have to suspend your disbelief as far as you would in a normal match. In this match, the rules are so simple that it's much easier to suspend disbelief and just enjoy the pageantry and the storytelling. It's not a real athletic competition, and everyone's known that for a long time. They're just telling you a fucking story with like superheroes in it. You know, and if you watch the fucking Avengers, you fucking Marvel marks. And if you like Joker, you fucking DC marks. And if you watch Game of Thrones or Harry Potter or whatever the fuck you're into, if you're a Ninja Turtles mark, the fact that you don't like wrestling just means you haven't seen the right wrestling. And this is the event to bring you into. And like, look, I don't hate evangelists because sometimes I'm an evangelist.
Yeah.
I want people that don't do jiu-jitsu to try jiu-jitsu. I think the practice of jiu-jitsu is positive for everyone's life, even if it's just a teeny bit of jiu-jitsu. Like literally a teeny bit.
Right.
I think if you watch a teeny bit of wrestling and enjoy it, you'll be a person that can come to that and have it be a place of escapism in a very positive way for the rest of your life. It's a gift, really. It's a place to like be a child and sit and wonder and be naive for a while. It's a nice thing to do. And I recommend it for all. And I recommend this particular event because I think it's the easiest thing to fucking get into. Anthony?
Yes.
Do you have any weird news for us?
I have one piece of weird news, and that is a Karen does the unthinkable at a Trader Joe's.
A shoot Karen?
A shoot. I don't know if her name
is this an actual Karen?
I don't know if she's. I don't know if her.
Or is this like a stereotypical Karen?
Stereotypical Karen, I guess you'd say. And I will show everybody.
What's her shoot name?
I have no idea. They didn't get that far in the process. I don't think anybody wanted to at this point. So
some white lady.
Some white lady is not allowed to is barred entry from Trader Joe's because she is not wearing the required facial covering that is now required. She goes in, she starts walking. She's been told,
she tries to go in anyway.
She says, "Nope, you can't do that. People are just out there chilling. Whatever happens, and we're gonna have to make sure to get ready for this. This is gonna get appropriate soon."
What is she doing right now?
She's just arguing back and forth with this guy. There's a guy narrating. I just didn't want to play that part of the video. She's arguing, she's narrating, and then she shows off her titties.
Whoa!
She shows her titties. She's like, "Hey, stop it! Before the side boob is good enough."
She has a boob protest.
Oh yeah, she's.
All right. Well, first, I approve of that protest, but I don't approve of you just deciding you don't want to follow the rules, like, and then being mad about it. Like, if you know for a fact that they're not going to let you in because you're not wearing a mask, and you do know that.
Right.
You do know that. Especially a fucking left-leaning store. Like, I'm not saying the people that own Trader Joe's and Aldi's, because they're the same people. Right. I'm not saying that those people are leftist. I'm saying people that shop there, a lot of them are.
Right.
And so, like, they're going to make sure that they cater to their base. So all their fucking staff is going to have masks on, and everybody's going to... It's just like when you go into Sprouts or fucking Whole Foods or, like, any of the places that are supposed to be good for you and healthy. They have very, very strict COVID rules.
Yeah.
So you know that you're going to encounter some resistance. So it's kind of bullshit, right? You set yourself up to have this moment. But that's a peaceful protest. And if that's how you want to express anger, if, like, I'm mad, I'm going to show my boobs, all right. Like, you go have yourself a good day. Like, you didn't injure anybody. You didn't do anything that's truly profane. You showed boobs. Boobs are like boobs.
Boobs,
you know,
can be
they're not profane.
Boobs can
they're
be
not
profane.
dangerous.
Boobs can be profane.
Boobs are profane.
Boobs can be. There's certain type of boobs.
You son of a bitch.
I am not.
What do you mean?
I'm not a positivity person. There's a certain type of boobs that should be allowed and not allowed, and you know, and there's certain places where you can and can't show boobs. Mardi Gras, appropriate place to show any type of boobs, any kind, whatever you want to do.
That's not a protest.
That's not a protest.
That's a party.
I agree though, but it's still allowed and it's okay. Because public indecency...
It's not allowed, actually.
But yeah, public indecency is still public indecency. It's still wrong. But, and the moral standard...
it's just enforced randomly.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, I don't think that lady has any nipples, so I wonder what's up with that.
Whoa, how do you know this?
I've looked very times, there's nothing there. It looks like it's like a Barbie doll. It's like smooth. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, look. First of all, let's not go calling this lady nippleless. Second of all, maybe the camera resolution isn't so great, and she has like kind of like similar toned skin.
Maybe
nipples, you know, don't really eat as well. I think that's more likely.
Yeah.
There are very few people that don't have nipples.
Right.
There are very few.
I agree. I will have to say this. I think it's very strange that you have those kind of boobs and you're not trying to support them.
Anthony,
I'm just saying.
Some people feel strongly about not wearing bras.
I understand that.
or like certain hours where they don't want to because they cause them discomfort. Anthony,
Yeah.
this is a very anti-feminist.
No.
Weird news for you, Anthony.
No. I'm just saying.
Oh,
like,
you son of a bitch!
I think 10
What are you,
o'clock.
some kind of
Te-
neocon?
I think at 10
Do you
p.m.
read a lot of Thomas Sowell?
I'm just
You
saying.
son of a bitch!
Trader Joe's hours of operations are 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And it's not like it was like 8:54. So it's like, I mean, like, come on now. Like, it's not like it was that late in the evening. It's like, I feel like there should be an acceptable hour where I should expect to see you in a bra publicly.
All right, so. Whoa!
I'm just saying.
So are you saying that like there should be mandatory bra hours?
I'm just saying that I think that if you're a person,
Who are we protecting with these rules?
protecting posture, one thing, protecting support. That's what we're protecting. All I'm saying is that I think that if there's a certain hour, there's like it's like respectable. It's like come on now. It's like are you gonna show up with no bra out there? Like, what kind of animal are you? Like, I think that's just disgusting.
All right. Here. Do you ever go shopping without wearing underwear?
No,
Never.
never. That's disgusting. Like swim trunks, like if I'm at the beach, then I'm wearing swim trunks. Yeah, I'm most likely not going to be wearing underwear because I don't want rash. I don't want a rash.
Okay.
But
everywhere else.
it's like I wear jeans, dude. I'm not walking around like with my dick rubbing against my jeans. Like, no, that's not happening.
All right, so I used to wear jeans every day, and I used to not wear underwear. I was much younger.
That's disgusting and so bad.
I was much younger, but this is just a true story.
I
didn't wear underwear from the time I was 17 until I started doing jiu-jitsu.
How old were you?
That's when I started wearing underwear.
When did you
I'm wearing underwear right now.
When did
by the
you
way.
start doing jiu-jitsu?
I started doing jiu-jitsu when I was like 23.
You know how disgusting that is? That makes me feel bad for all those kids you served ice cream for. Like, there's something just unmagical about that now. That, like, all those people you served ice cream for, where ice cream is supposed to be like a sacred thing. Like, secretly, they just don't know. Like, this dude just has everything's just like, yep, it's just right here on the front. All it takes is just a seam to bust, a button to unravel, and it's just all over for you. Good night. And there's just something
There were no bursting of seams.
I'm just saying there's something unmagical about that. Like, I don't want to know that you're not wearing underwear and you served me ice cream. Like, that would make me very.
What was magical about the ice cream before?
Ice cream is just a magical thing. It's innocent. There's nothing about it that should be dirty. It's like it's innocent thing. It's like a sacred thing. And then what you're telling me is that while you were
Anthony, what you're telling me, you son of a bitch, what you're telling me is that there's magical bra times and like ice cream's magic and you can't have dicks near ice cream. Meanwhile, every ice cream cooler is right at dick height.
Of course, bend with your knees.
So you can argue that I'm selling dick out there.
No, bend with your knees.
But I'm pointing to different. It's like, hey,
no.
do you want this cookies and cream?
No, the reason why it's at dick. I'll tell you why it's at dick height, jerk off. I'll tell you why it's at dick height. I'll tell you why it's at dick height.
What kind of ice cream?
It's not because of those motions. It's because of the bend, the cleave. It's the cleave. When you see the supported bra, you know what kind of person it is. That's what it is. It's magical. I'm trying to tell you something.
No, you can't. All right, look. Any good ice cream store has either like a button up or a T-shirt. There's no fucking douche. There's no cleave.
There's no douche, but like that bend, it's like that's beyond 90 degrees. You're going beyond 90 degrees to get into the scooper. There's gonna be something you're gonna see, and you know what would go well with ice cream? Supported breast.
90 degrees.
Yeah, supported breast. I'm just saying.
So bras are required, underwear required.
Yeah.
You can't leave the house. What are the hours?
So I think that it's an acceptable. It's like, so like, I think after like 9 p.m. and onward, I think it's acceptable to walk around without underwear or a bra because I don't expect anything out of you.
9 p.m.
Yeah, after like 9 p.m. Most businesses are closed.
Now, when do I have to put my clothes back on?
I would say if anything, like 9 a.m. is the latest. It's like you should be putting your stuff back on. If you're going out in the public, if you're staying at your house, you can do whatever you want, man. You could be balls out till like 2 in the afternoon. I don't care. But it's like okay. If you step outside and people are forced to like look at you and that's what they have to look at, it's like, goddamn, like you don't care about the name.
I try. All right, so look, I'm not out there in gray sweatpants with no drawers on.
Right.
Just letting everybody see the whole fucking gimmick. or like in my pajama pants with my gimmick out. I don't do that.
Right.
But I don't always wear underwear.
That's. Oh, God damn it. I'm about to ask you every time we hang out.
I might
now,
like.
Are you wearing underwear, bro?
No.
If
you see me, I'm wearing underwear.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna be like.
But some of the time, I'm like wearing my fucking pajamas.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, yo, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. That sounds like a great idea. So instead of putting on underwear, I'll throw on sweatpants over my pajamas.
That's respectable.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I respect that. The double layer is acceptable.
So essentially, I'm wearing super long boxers.
Yeah.
But I'm not wearing any underwear.
But it's under your wears, and that's acceptable when it's under your wears. So you wore sweatpants, and what's under your wears is pajamas, which now is your underwear. It's acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I'm no longer disgusting.
You're no longer discussing as long as you're not out in public in like one sheer thing where it's like, hey guys, it's right here. It's like that's
right.
It's like right here, surfs up, guys. What you want to? Let's hang 10, whatever. Like yeah.
It's whoa 10.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like whatever. It's like
see, I avoided it because I made a promise, but there was the window right there.
Yeah.
There was the window
it was right there.
No, we'll do it.
It's right there. It was right there. You know what? Take it away, because I came in with my Nazi attitude.
I won't do it.
So I need you to be a very liberal about this.
Because and you are a fucking an underwear Nazi. You are a
Nazi.
underwear
Yeah,
Nazi.
I'll say it.
You fucking fascist. You're ready to jail everybody with their nipples out.
Of course. Especially if you're built like a melted ice cream. Yeah.
Nipples to nipples.
If you're built like a melted ice cream, yeah, you shouldn't do that to people. Like no, that's not acceptable. Like there's like you understand you're not pretty in a certain light of people. I need you to understand that.
Maybe that's why it's protest and not like a present.
Like you said it was a protest and not like a present. Yes. I'm trying to help you out, woman. Your husband wants you to put on a bra too. I promise you. If you're married, your husband wants you to put on one too.
Oh my goodness, Anthony.
Yes.
It's been a lovely podcast. I feel my third eye opening. I feel clarity coming into my life, Anthony. I seek clarity in the future, Anthony. I'm looking at the light right now. And right now, my hand is reaching toward that light.
Yes.
Do you know why, Anthony?
Why?
Because in the light there is truth, Anthony. And what I see in this light, is the future of all the gatherings of the people who have bought Love and Chokes t-shirts over the years.
Yes.
We have some surprises in store for them.
Yes.
We've been looking at some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We've been looking at some images that's what I'm trying to tell you. And let me leave you with this. When you finally see the images that we have seen, Daddy, you're going to be happy to open up your wallets and get yourself some gear, some merch, some products.
Yes. Yes.
Because things are on the horizon, and I'm excited about them, and you should be too.
Yes.
Anthony, for now, we must bid them adieu. So for now, I say this. Goodbye, Internet. Anthony, this is goodbye for real. Goodbye!